Have you ever looked at your partner and thought, why on earth does he do that? Well, you're not alone. If you've ever wondered why your partner does what he does, this video is going to give you some serious clarity. What if I told you there's a tool that can help you understand not just what he does, but why he does it? It's called personality typing, and today we're diving into one of the most insightful systems I found for relationships, the ENNEAGRAM. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Mireille Nicole, relationship coach for women, and I'm all about guiding you towards your happily ever after and helping you tackle the tough stuff in love with grace and wisdom. Today, I want to introduce you to a concept that's so powerful. I'm integrating it into my private coaching program because when it comes to lasting emotional safety and real compatibility, this is the missing piece most women don't even realize they're missing. I was actually introduced to the Enneagram a few years ago in a totally different context, but I never fully explored it. You know how sometimes something just doesn't land, not because it's not valuable, but because it's not the right time. Well, that was the Enneagram for me. And well, this time it landed. So let's start with a simple definition. The Enneagram is a personality typing system that identifies 9 core types. It can help us understand our own motivations, our own core beliefs, and unconscious patterns that drive our behavior, and better understand others, including our partners. We all have 9 types in us to some degree, but one is dominant. Unlike other personality systems that describe what we do, the Enneagram helps us understand why we do it. It's all about the internal motivation that drives our behaviors, including in love. When you understand your own type and your partner's type, you can gain compassion, you can stop taking everything so personally, and it all just makes sense. And unlike the love languages or attachment styles or even zodiac signs, which are also helpful, this tool in particular gets to the core motivation of each partner. You'll actually understand not just what, but why. And what I especially love about this system is that every Enneagram personality type has a range of ways that it can show up, some healthy and some not so healthy. And these are called the levels of development, and they explain how a person's behavior, mindset, and emotional reactions can shift depending on their inner growth or the stress in their lives. It adds a spectrum to each type. So instead of seeing people as fixed or boxed in, it shows how we all grow, we all struggle, and we all shift over time. For example, you might think, well, wait, I thought he was a type 2. Why is he acting so cold and controlling? But then you start to understand that a type 2 under stress can become resentful or even manipulative, whereas a healthy type 2 is going to be loving, generous, and warm. Same type, different level of development. And that's why just knowing someone's type isn't enough. You also need to understand where they are within their type at any given moment. This is one of the biggest things I see missing in relationship advice. And that is why I'm so excited to be bringing this concept on this channel and into my private coaching programs. Because when you learn to read your partner's behavior through this lens, so much begins to make sense. So I'm by no means an expert on this yet. So I'll drop a link in the description where you can learn more about each of the 9 types and the levels within them. So you can start identifying your own dominant type and explore your partners as well. Let's talk about the Enneagram in the context of romantic relationships, because this is where I get excited, obviously. Understanding your own Enneagram type and your partners not only helps you connect more deeply, it gives you a framework for growth, communication, and compassion. And when you also understand the different levels of development within each type, you gain even more clarity in terms of what's going on and what to do next. Let me give you a bit more detail here in terms of what this awareness will allow you to do in your relationship. Number 1, it'll help you recognize your own stress patterns and when you're slipping into old habits. Number 2, it'll help you understand why your partner might be acting out or pulling away or shutting down. Number 3, tell the difference between a rough day and a deeper pattern to address. Number 4, respond with empathy and curiosity instead of judgment or blame. And number 5, support each other in growing up the levels towards emotional health, presence, and connection. Now, here's something that might reassure you. There is no perfect match. It's not about pairing two specific types together like some sort of compatibility test. Any two types can have a beautiful, fulfilling relationship as long as both people are actively growing and emotionally aware. That's the key. There's no type combination that is guaranteed to succeed, and there's none that is destined to fail either. Some pairings may have more obvious strengths or challenges, but what truly determines relationship success is how healthy each person is within their type and how well they understand each other's emotional world. And I would add also, obviously, the level of relationship skills that you currently have. So my husband and I checked out the personality type descriptions, and it turns out I'm a type 3, the achiever, and he's a type 7, the enthusiast. And here's a little insight into the type 3 and type 7 as a couple to give you an idea of how knowing your Enneagram types can be powerful in your own romantic relationship. According to the website that I link you to in the video description, this combo is considered one of the most high energy, vibrant pairings in the Enneagram. Both types are outgoing, enthusiastic, and full of big ideas, and I definitely recognize myself in my husband in that. We both love being around people, although we're actually more introverted, and I think type 7s are supposed to be extroverted, but I'm sure my husband would debate that. We also love dreaming about the future and chasing exciting possibilities together. Type 3s like me tend to be more goal-oriented, focused, and aware of social cues, whereas type 7s like my husband bring a sense of fun and spontaneity and this light-hearted approach to life that balances me out in the best way. Where I bring structure and follow through, he brings play and possibility. And where I stay grounded, he lifts up the energy. And it's a really beautiful dance when we're both in a healthy place. Together, we're a couple that thrives on doing things, going places, and living life to the fullest. You can tell by all the mountain biking we do together, by all the trips we take and the night outs and the dates and all sorts of stuff that we're doing all the time and going to our cottage. When our strengths align, it truly feels like magic. Unfortunately, we're not always at our healthy development levels, and it can be a lot. Apparently, there's just so much energy in our pairing that at times it can feel overwhelming, even behind closed doors. And from the outside, we often look like we have it all together, but on the inside, there can be this unspoken pressure to live up to this image of always being, happy, successful, fun, fabulous, whatever, right? And this really, really resonates with me. And adding to that, the fact that I'm also a relationship coach puts a lot of pressure on us. So I'm always open and honest here on my YouTube channel and just my social media platforms about how we are not perfect. I actually take pride in that. I use all the tools, I do all the work, and it is a journey. And I think it's so important to talk about it. And honestly, I don't think I'd want it any other way. And I've explained that in other videos. Plus, because both our types are naturally optimistic and we're fast moving, we sometimes avoid slowing down enough to deal with some deeper or real issues. And that's where things can start just unraveling when we're not careful and we're not using our tools. Types 3, like me, can get really focused on success and ambition and achievement. And for many years, I found myself showing up in masculine energy in my relationship. So knowing my type actually helped explain why I was so often going into my masculine instead of staying in my feminine energy. And that really impacted our polarity together. Meanwhile, type 7s, like my husband, often want fun, freedom, variety, and they may resist anything that feels like heavy or limiting or even negative. And looking back now, I can see how I was unknowingly pushing my husband away many times. So now when I look back at all the times that, my husband wanted to plan more stuff and I was like, oh my gosh, like financially, how are we going to do it? Or, he has this tendency, he wants to do more or, change things or improve things. And I was always like, why is this never enough? Well, now that I know my husband's a type 7, it all makes sense. They're always looking for bigger, better, funner. And here I was finding it really annoying, but now I understand and I can come from a place of compassion because I realize it's his personality. And I can avoid falling back into bad habits because what was happening because of this was things weren't getting talked about. Little hurts were getting swept under the rug. And both of us were feeling this tension, but we didn't know quite how to name it. Now, I was pretty much able to address most of this by learning effective relationship and communication skills like the ones I talk about on my channel. But also knowing our personality types now just brings a whole other level of understanding, compassion, like I said, and connection because I realize now there was never really anything fundamentally wrong with us. We just sometimes didn't understand each other. I always talk about what I did to fix the relationship, but now I realize that what was actually happening, I was using my happily ever after method in a way that was helping us to get to healthier levels of development on the Enneagram as much as possible. So that's why I'm so excited about this concept. I'll be exploring the Enneagram even further, applying what I learned in my own relationship, and I'll be back soon to do a follow-up video breaking it all down for you, what worked, what I learned, and how you can start applying it too. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. And if you want to start transforming your relationship right now, I created something for you. It's called the Relationship Success Checklist, and it's 25 simple daily actions you can start doing today that will make your partner feel more seen, supported, and deeply connected to you. And of course, you're the one that's going to benefit from all of this, and him too, of course. Just click on the link in the description below. I'll also post it in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, and watch this next.